Top 3 items in a SAR1's EDC. No. Top 5 first responder EDC. Not doing it either. 10 things I won't leave home without. No. All right, guys, I just literally hate doing videos like that. It doesn't matter. I can't narrow it down to 3, 5, or even 10 items that I would carry on me every day. I just feel like those videos always get taken out of context. What you carry in your EDC, it should be, you know, the stuff that you want to be the go-to person, right? Like, we always want to be that guy or that gal that has the answer to whatever the need is at that moment. The thing is, it's a lifestyle choice, and if you don't, you won't. So I'm not gonna pull this stuff out in any particular order or place importance on something over something else. My EDC serves as the foundation for everything in my life, for every kit that I have. It doesn't matter if it's a backpack or my vehicle or even stuff at home or extended resources that are within my reach. All right, first things first, I'm going to pull out my weapon, all right? I live in America. I realize some of you do not, but over here, thank God we have Second Amendment rights. And I've got to say, I have used that weapon. I have pulled that weapon multiple times, and I just thank God that I had it at the time. I realize there are other people watching from other countries, and I'm sorry. I wish that I could, you know, snap my fingers and I could change everything around the world and make it a better place, but I can't. I think Americans, they take that right for granted most of the time, and I don't want to be one of those people. Because people are going to ask, yes, I carry a Glock 29, yes, it is chambered in 10 mil, yes, I carry 2 different mags, one for larger game like bears and hogs, and then the other is specifically for zombies. And that's really all I'm going to say about that. The next thing is my watch. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about this watch. I actually have a video. It's in the archives. Maybe I'll post it in the comments, and maybe Chris will pin it at the top so you can get a direct link to the video on my watch. But for now, we're just going to take it off and set it right there. I guess the next thing is my sunglasses. I just never leave home without them. I can think of lots and lots of reasons why you should have sunglasses. It's part of my EDC. Boom. Next thing is my hat. Yes, I'm wearing a camouflage hat. Yes, I'm wearing one that actually has a patch panel. You know, I'm not trying to be a gray man right now. And honestly, here where I live, wearing a camouflage hat is kind of like what all the guys do. And so you got to understand about Grayman, you've got to blend in to the baseline, whatever the baseline is. Where I live at, this is 100% acceptable. And the last video that I did, I was in Chicago. I wasn't wearing a camouflage hat. I was wearing a black hat that actually had one of these patch panels on it, and the keyboard commandos tore me up about it. I don't care. In this patch kit, there's actually a video Jason and I put together of what's inside of this. It's just kind of like a micro kit that goes inside of the patch. Yeah, I consider it part of my EDC. I also have things that are inside of the 6 pockets inside of this hat. Other stuff, there's videos on that. I don't want to go on to it, but I do consider my hat to be a tool, and so I'm going to throw it down on the table. One of the more obvious things is my neck knife. I like wearing this in the winter. It's just easy to get to when you've got on lots of layers. I mean, once you have on a jacket and everything's covered up, it's kind of hard to get to certain things, if you know what I'm saying. I use a knife all the time. I consider it to be one of the most important items that I carry. In this particular case, what I've done is I have paired my Mighty Mini by William Collins with my Viking Spark from Wazoo. I think it's just a great combo. I just secure everything with a Ranger band. It just makes sense to me. Next on the list. All right, let's go into my pocket here. Let's see what I got here. Here's my Frankenman. I did an entire video on this. Yes, it is a custom multi-tool. If you want to see more about it, just watch that video. I'm trying to get used to carrying one of these all the time, right? I typically have it in my pack, but I'm trying to dedicate having an actual multi-tool in my pocket because they are useful. So that's what's next. Next thing is my flashlight, and Jason and I, we are both in agreement. We just like simple flashlights that have an on and off switch. I just don't want anything more complicated than that. I use this thing all the time. I mean, you can see, look, All the anodized coating has come off of it. I've had this in my pocket for years. It is a Streamlight. I want something, a name that I can trust when it comes to a flashlight. There are lots of flashlights out there. This is just the one that I've been using for so many years, and it just keeps on ticking. I'm gonna move this off to the side so I can put the rest of everything on the table so maybe y'all can see it. The next thing is a Sharpie. I use it all the time for first aid, medical stuff, writing notes, sharpening knives. There's all kind of things that you can use these for. I just have one in my pocket at all times. The next thing is chapstick. I mean, it's not just for your lips. You can use it for first aid. You can also use it to help you start a fire. Now, the next thing that's in my pocket is a lighter. And you'll notice this one does not have duct tape on it. That's because my old one is out of fluid and it's time to put some more tape on here and get this thing fixed up. I recently had somebody mention to me that I should carry a clipper. And what I did was I carried one off of camera, and I've got to say, in the end, I liked that you could rebuild it. I liked that you could refill it. I think it's a great idea, but the biggest problem that I had with the clippers was that I wasn't able to wrap any duct tape around them. I gotta say that for me, that is a really big problem. I just like the fact that I can take some of this Gorilla Tape and I can wrap it around the lighter, and I just use it. It's so helpful. I mean, I use the duct tape off of my lighter all the time, constantly. I end up having to refill the lighter, I don't know how many times in the course of me having a lighter. It's just a system that I've been using for a long time and it works. So why would you change it? All right, the first thing that I do is I get rid of this child safety thing right there, like that. Just makes it easier. If you've lost dexterity in your hands, it's just so much easier to light it. I have never had one of these depress in my pocket and lose a lighter before. Somebody's gonna ask, why did you leave that on there? Hey, it's flammable. Maybe I need that tag at the end when I need to make a fire the most. So I go ahead and just leave them on there. And then I just keep rolling the tape on the lighter until I feel like I've got it filled up to, you know, the level that I want it to be. People ask me, how much tape do I put on there as far as, you know, how many feet is on this? And the answer is, I don't have a clue. It's about that much. So I don't actually know how much tape is on there, but that's it. That's how much tape I actually put on my lighter. I feel better about myself, shouldn't you? All right, let's see what else I have in here. Oh yeah, it's winter. So part of my winter loadout, I've got a buff. This one is actually merino wool that I keep. I mean, they're just so useful to have. And then I've got a watch cap to go with it as well. That's what I keep in the left pocket. In the right pocket, that's where I keep my fingerless OR gloves. I really love these things a lot. And I'm gonna say this is more of an urban EDC video, not necessarily Wilderland, because if it was Wilderland, then I would have my Grayman knife and I would have my dump pouch on. I don't have those things on me today, so they don't really count. So I guess this is more like my, you know, urban EDC stuff. Let's see here. What's in this pocket? Oh yeah, my wallet. Inside of my wallet, I do have things like the Wazoo fire card inside of my wallet. I mean, for me, that's just smart to have. Oh yeah, I also carry things like Grim survival cards inside of my wallet. I never know when I'm teaching, I might need something little like that, so I always have that stuff. And besides having your cards and your identification and all of that, I try to keep about $200 cash in my wallet. Now, a word about cash, I don't just have it in the wallet, okay? I try to spread it out as far as I can. So I have cash in the cash cap. I have cash that's literally inside of my watch. I have cash inside of my cash belt. And then I also have the cash in the wallet itself. Somebody always asks me, well, how much should you have? I try to at least have $200 on me, if not $300. And yes, that's the way things go when you're filming. Oh, come on, man. Are you kidding me? Great. Yay, finally. Where were we? So rude. Oh yeah, here's one I want to talk about. I want to get y'all's recommendations. So food is on your priorities of, you know, your survival priorities. I've always carried around the Cliff Bars in my pocket because I have done challenges before where this really mattered. If you haven't eaten in 2 or 3 days and then you eat one of these, I promise you, you can feel the effects of it immediately. Now, I have tried everything from honey stingers, beef jerky, trail mix, cashews. If y'all have a better answer of something that packs more punch than this does that I can put in my pocket that's about this size, I want to know in the comment section, please. In my opinion, always a good idea to have some food on you. Let's keep digging. This is basically like kind of like my first aid pouch, I guess, if you will. This is made by Tough Possum. In here, I have acetaminophen, I have ibuprofen, I have Benadryl, I have Imodium, I have X-Lax, I have aspirin. I also have Tums in there as well. And really, if you have any specific medications to you, you need to carry at least a 3-day supply of them. This is just the one that I have in my pocket right now. Okay, one thing else that I carry is just, I think this is 25 feet, if I remember correctly. I'm getting older, and seriously, my fingers, like making cordage, it sucks. It actually hurts. I hate doing it. There's no excuse not to have a little bit of cordage in your pocket. Just say yes to cordage. Doesn't everybody carry their keys? Seriously, doesn't everybody have their phone, their wallet, and their keys on them? I think that just, you know, that should be right off the top. I don't know. You tell me. All right, so there's nothing left in my jacket pockets, nothing in this right pocket. Nope, I'm good there. So let's go on to the left. Okay, on this side, I keep baby wipes. If you've been watching this channel, you know the importance of them. Baby wipes are a must. The next thing that I keep in the pocket, and I normally don't have this one, this is actually a Titan survival blanket. I typically carry the Don't Die in the Woods version of this, but I haven't ordered them. In the meantime, I'm carrying a Titan. I like having XL survival blankets if I'm gonna carry one. This is just another one that I had at home, so that's why I have it. All right, moving up to the front pocket. Okay, here is my Wazoo tracking bandana, and here is my bandanet. I'm really starting to like this thing. It's nothing more than one of the Wazoo bandanas, and what they've done is they have sewn on a net on the back. It actually has a drawstring as well. I'm really liking this thing. It replaced something in my kit actually, because I did have a bandana and I also had a mosquito net that went over my cap. And now I'm able to replace this or replace that boonie net with this right here because it serves, well, basically 3 purposes in my kit. On top of that, I also have the wild edible and medicinal guide that's on the front. I mean, these are the most common ones found in North America. I think it's just a great piece of kit. And yeah, I've added it in. I mean, it folds up literally the size of the bandana, and I can put them together. I just consider that a force multiplier. So boom. Okay, that's it for all the pockets. Now I guess we can go to my belt. And one thing that I carry on my belt that I consider to be pretty important, I was a first responder, having gloves, right? Having your surgical gloves on you. I mean, that's just smart to have, y'all. This is not that big of a deal. It's a really small size. It compacts. I carry it on my belt. I don't know how many times I've actually had to use these in real life. I mean, it's just something that I've carried on over, so that's part of the kit too. All right, I'm gonna give you one thing. If I could only have one thing on me, what would it be? It would 100% be my cash belt from Wazoo Gear. I mean, I don't understand why everybody doesn't have one of these to begin with. This is the ultimate Grayman accessory. Inside this belt, I have 30 pieces of survival gear that I can take on a plane. I can walk into a federal building and nobody knows that I have it on me. The foundation for this kit is the adventure kit from Wazoo, and I've added in a handcuff key. I've got a lockpick set. I've got cash in here. I mean, in reality, you can put anything that you want into this kit and you can hide it there. It's kind of like an insurance policy. You forget about it, the day comes and you need it, and bam, you've got it on you. It's made in the USA, it's high quality. I mean, it's as good as it gets. I don't understand why everybody doesn't wear one of these. It just makes sense. If I could only have one thing, it would be this. I guess y'all got me there at the end of the video. The one thing JJ would carry if he couldn't carry anything else. Okay, what else have I got on me? Oh yeah, here's my EOS, my magnifier. Hey, if I don't have my glasses on me, my reading glasses, and I need to read something off the menu at a restaurant, it takes care of that. That's probably what I use it for the most, but I mean, let's say you did have an injury and you needed to look at it really close. I mean, this works for that. Also, fire redundancy. I mean, you can light off a fire real easily with one of these. I consider this part of my fire kit. I consider it a must-have. This is something that I have around my neck at all times. Next thing is the bullet around my neck and the ring around my finger. Those are totems. Those help me with a positive mental attitude. In a survival situation, you gotta have something worth fighting for, and that's what those symbolize. Oh yeah, I almost forgot this. This is my Opinel saw, and I absolutely love this thing. I cannot tell you how much I love this Opinel saw. I mean, for a pocket saw, in my opinion, it really doesn't get any better than this. So yeah, that's part of the kit too. I think something that gets left out of the EDC talk is your clothing and your footwear choices as well. After all, your clothing is your first line of defense against the elements, and what you choose to wear, I mean, it really matters. Now, I'm not gonna go into a big long speech about it and everything. I mean, you probably know what you should be doing anyway. The way that I look at it, and pretty much everybody in my circle, is we wear a uniform every single day. Like our clothing choices, we make sure that, it doesn't matter what outfit we're wearing, the principles are always the same. A lot of that is just, personal choice. You know where you live, you know what kind of conditions you live in, just be prepared for it. Another thing that's really important is your actual footwear. Like I said before, I'm wearing Vivo trackers. I'm not saying that you should wear those. I'm just saying they work for what I do. They're laced up boots, and they're waterproof and ultralight. And if I need to shuck and jive with them, I can run. I will say that in the bottom of these, I make sure that I have a felt wool liner. It's wintertime, and where's the majority of that heat gonna go? It's gonna go into the earth because of conduction. Also, where you live, there might be a lot of wind and it might rain, or maybe it snows. I don't know, just make a smart decision. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about is something I get asked about all the time, and it's about this man purse thing that I've been carrying around. I have been convicted for a really long time because of all the disaster scenes that I've been to, that you need something, some kind of container on you in case the SHTF happens. Nowadays, there's all these women that are carrying around these huge Stanley containers, and I want to make fun of them, but they're probably doing better than you are. This has been my standby for many, many years, but what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to update. This is what I want to go to. This is what I want to carry. I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to carry this system yet, but it's just my titanium grail. It holds 16.9 ounces of water, but I can gather, filter, purify, and carry the water with this small little thing right here. I just haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to carry it where it is tactically efficient and comfortable to wear. Now, this is definitely a smaller bottle. It's not as huge as some of the other ones that I could potentially carry, but that's kind of like really the point. It's kind of like this is the last ditch effort to take care of that problem. I just haven't figured out how to carry it, because if I carry it, for example, inside of my jacket right here in one of these inner pockets, well, that just looks weird. You're definitely going to stand out. And I think that, no matter how I carry it, it is going to stand out. But I'm looking for a solution to that. So if y'all could help me out, if you think of something, post in the comment section, let me know. I'm always trying to improve, and this is one of the ways that I really feel like I could improve my EDC, is just having my grail. So there you have it, guys. There's my updated EDC of what I actually have on me. And remember, if you don't have it, it's worthless. So if you're honey smack digging the video, leave me a snide remark, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and until next time, y'all, keep fueling those fires.